So here you are asked to determine the points, if any, at which the graph of a function has a horizontal tangent line. So what you want to realize first is the key point that a horizontal tangent line occurs where the slope is 0. So always remember that. So we're going to start off with part A. So you have the function y equals x squared divided by x minus 1. So step 1, we want to use the quotient rule to find the derivative of that function. And we do that so we can find our point. So here's the quotient rule that we use here. And we just solve, simplify. And so after we use the quotient rule and simplify, we have our derivative, which is right here, that you see right there. So now we set the derivative equal to 0 because, as I stated before, this is where the horizontal tangent line occurs. So we set the derivative equal to 0 and solve. So we have both our x coordinates of x equals 0 and x equals 2. And this is how we solved it. So now we have, as I said, our x coordinates of 0 and 2. So now we plug these x coordinates back into our original function to get our y coordinates. We do that because we know the original function is basically the same thing as y. So f of x is the same thing as y. That's why we don't plug our x coordinates into our derivative, because it's not the same as y, but f of x is the same as y. So we go back to the function that you originally had, and we plug in our value of x equals 0, and we get our y value of 0. So therefore, when x is 0, y is 0. So we do it again for our value of x equals 2. So we plug it in and we get 4. So therefore, when x equals 2, y equals 4. So for part A, the points at which the graph of the function y equals x squared divided by x minus 1 has a horizontal tangent line, or the coordinates of the horizontal tangent line is 0, 0, and 2, 4. And you could check that by graphing. And I'll show you again the steps of how I solve that.